What's up, everybody? This is Dopey from Bahama Barcadas, Southeast San Diego. Uh, Making another little video answering another question. The question I'm going to answer is the question is what made me, why did I stab so many people in prison? Do I feel good about it or whatever? Uh, 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 what I guess why did I stab so many people in prison? Do I feel good about it? Do I regret anything? My answer to that is, look, I don't know. When people ask me, you know, I, I'm not a violent person. People think I'm a violent person. I'm not, you know. And like I was telling the counselor this the other day. I said, you guys think I'm a violent person. I'm not. I'm not a violent person. It's just that sometimes in prison makes you this way. You know, it's how you survive. You know what I'm saying? And, it's how you make people leave you alone. That at least that's in my thought process. That's how it is. When you put in work, whatever, you know, wherever you go, they kind of leave you alone. They can't tell you what to do, tell you you never put in work for the. Because in my days, it was all about representing your car, your people, and putting in work. You were judged by the work you put in. If you didn't put in work for your people, then you were nobody. Your voice didn't matter. So always wanted my voice to matter. Um, that's just what it was for me. I was a gangster. I aimed for the top, and in order to be there in prison, it was violence. I mean, you don't make your way to the top by talking nice and being nice to everyone. No, it's just not how it works. Do I regret stabbing all those people? No, no, no. They're all rats, imposters, rapists. So I don't regret any of it. You know, it's my way of you know, putting in work. Um, uh, yeah, so that's pretty much that was. But it's like this. Like, again, I'm not a violent person, but sometimes. But if your job requires you to be violent, I'm just good at what my job requires me to do. You know, so it's like, let me give you an example, and don't take this the wrong way. For example, let's say you see this. Let's say a Navy SEAL. I'm nowhere. Believe me, I'm nowhere comparing myself to a Navy SEAL because there's no comparison. Navy SEALs are way up there. They're the real deal. But let's say you see this Navy SEAL guy. He's sitting on the grass with his two little baby daughters. They're playing, climbing on him, playing with he's with his wife. They're having a little picnic at church, whatever. When you see that man, but yet he has all these medals that the president has given him. He's been rewarded by the president for all these vicious, violent, brutal things that he's done to the enemies overseas. I mean, he's getting medals for this. So amongst the Navy SEALs, he's this badass, violent, crazy somebody with. But here he is. You see him when you see him playing with his kids and having a picnic with his family. Does he look like a violent person to you? No, he doesn't. But it's just that his job requires him to be a violent person, and that's how he has that kind of reputation. But is he a violent man? No, he's not. He's just good at his job. I consider myself the same way. I am actually not a violent person. I'd rather kick it, have fun, but it's just the things that I've done, the shit I've been involved in, it required violence. I was good at it. But did I want it every day? Did I? No, no, I didn't. So let me tell you something. Everything I've done in prison, I've never been busted for anything personal. I never had a one-on-one fight. I never stabbed somebody because me and you had work. No, I did shit because it had to get done. Period. Because I'm not violent by nature, so I've never had conflict with anybody else, or because I wanted to be violent. No, never that. But yeah, I'm not a violent person. Do, so my question is, do I regret all those things that I've done? Uh, I was surviving. That's what I was doing in prison. I was surviving. To me, it was my opportunity to allow myself to survive a little longer. Because believe me, look, general population, it's not an easy rodeo. I mean, it kind of is for me, but for some people, it isn't. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, man. That's how I survived in prison, because no one's ever told me what to do in prison, ever. Because I've always, you didn't have to. I proved that. I don't have to prove it anymore, but it's nothing to prove these days. But it was my way of surviving. If I, if I didn't have to do it, I wouldn't. But I had to survive up in here. That's basically what it is. So I'm gonna say no. I don't regret. They weren't twisted up in politics or nothing like that. Anybody I stabbed, they weren't twisted up or or anything. They were really trash. They were no good. They had bad morals. It was just all bad. So that's pretty much what that was. So that's my answer to that.